Good morning friends. Today is the second session and yesterday we have started the chapter of 12th standard of bookkeeping and accountancy, that is accounts of not for profit concern. Yesterday we had a discussion about the meaning of not for profit concern, what is the objective behind such kind of concerns in the market and how do they provide the services and what exactly make them different from the other type of concerns from the market. On that basis, today we are going to study the exact accounts of not-for-profit concerns about the practical knowledge of such kind of concerns. Friends, yesterday we had a discussion that how exactly these concerns collect the funds from number of sources, how they utilize this fund, and exactly after collecting the fund and utilizing for same purpose of rendering the services to the society, after working in the same situation for the 12th month of a year, the time comes that the NPO to answer the society exactly what they have done for the 12 months, and after doing that all activities of business for 12 months, what is the output of that all kind of activities. For this kind of answer to the society, it becomes mandatory or compulsory for the NPO to prepare the accounts, and exactly this kind of knowledge we are going to take for today's lecture, that which books of accounts are being maintained by the not-for-profit concerns, and on the basis of maintained book, exactly what kind of accounts are being prepared. Because friends, this NPO, that is nothing but not-for-profit organization, they collect the fund from the society, and collected fund from the society they utilize for the society. Because of this only, maybe their aim is to render the service to the society, but the exactly rendering service, that main activity is being done on the basis of collected fund of society, and this makes them answerable to the society only, that how they are performing, exactly in what way they are performing. And because to answer this, they have to prepare the accounts. So let's see which type of accounts are being prepared for the not-for-profit concerns. Next. Friends, what is final account? In the standard 11, in relation to the accounts, we have studied the chapter final account of a sole trading concern. The final account is basically a type of result, we can say it is a type of a report, which is being prepared by the organization, and that report will give the exact result of the organization, that either the organizations are running in a good condition or they are suffering from the losses position. So that final account becomes a major activity of that organization to prepare it, because after preparation only they can declare their final result to the society. In this case, that final account is a report, and report will declare the result, as it is mandatory for the preparation of the concerns which are profit motivated. Similar way, NPO which are non-profit motive concerns, but because they are conducting the business activity on the collected fund of the business of the society, this makes them compulsory to prepare the final account. In the terms of final account, they prepare the report, and to prepare that report, they have to prepare some few accounting statements, and they are nothing but firstly they have to prepare the receipt and payment account, secondly they have to prepare the income and expenditure account, and finally they have to prepare the balance sheet. What exactly accounting statements are being prepared in the preparation of final account by the NPO? They prepare receipt and payment account, they prepare income and expenditure account, and finally they do prepare the balance sheet. Friends, NPO, the basic objective is to render the service, then earning the profit. Because of this only one statement, in the preparation of final account they prepare some statements like receipt and payment account, income and expenditure account, and balance sheet. Today, next, firstly we are going to learn about the receipt and payment account. As the name indicates, what is receipt and payment account? Receipt means what comes in, payment what goes out. It means basically receipt and payment account is means receipt म्हणजे जे काही आपल्याला बिझनेस मध्ये मिळणार आहे ते सगळं म्हणजे रिसीट असणार आहे, आणि पेमेंट जे बिझनेस मधून खास करून जाणार आहे ते सगळे टर्म्स मध्ये आपण काय म्हणणार आहे, इथं पेमेंट त्याला म्हणणार आहे. अँड बेसिकली कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ रिसीट अँड पेमेंट विल बी प्रिपेअर्ड इन द टर्म्स ऑफ रिसीट अँड पेमेंट अकाउंट. The next slide explains again I will repeat the rule of real account. Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. In this case, after applying the rule of real account, the cash book is being prepared, and similar way, receipt and payment account is similar to the cash book. Therefore, whatever the implementation is given for the preparation of cash book, similar way we will prepare the receipt and payment account. Here is the format of receipt and payment account, how we have to prepare it. Firstly, we have to give the heading of receipt and payment account for the year ending. So what the exact date is given, that will be highlighted over here. And to prepare the receipt and payment account, we have to notice that receipt and payment account is available in the T-form shape. This is the blue line which describes the T-form shape of the receipt and payment account. This T-form shape makes it that it has two hand sides. This is the left hand side, and that becomes the right hand side of the receipt and payment account. Usually the left hand side is called as the debit side and the right hand side is called as the credit side. And as I said, that receipt and payment account is similar to the cash book, and cash book implies the rule of real account. Therefore, the same rule will be implemented for the preparation of receipt and payment account. And friends, even receipt and payment account follow the real account rule. What is the account rule of real account? Debit what comes in. So what comes in the business in the form of cash, in the forms of other asset, that should be recorded to the debit side of receipt and payment account. And credit what goes out, means whatever the goes out from the business in the form of cash and asset, that should be recorded for the payment side, that is nothing but the credit side of the receipt and payment account. Now, first we will describe about the debit side of the receipt and payment account. Here, to the debit side of the receipt and payment account, firstly, actual receipts are recorded. Here the word is highlighted, actual receipts are recorded. Actual receipts means what? Exactly what is in the hand of the business. Whatever be the form may be, but whatever it is available in the hand of the business, that will be recorded, means actually which had been came into the business, that actual receivable amount will be, or received amount will be recorded for the debit side of the receipt and payment account. At the other hand, what should be received in the form of amount? It should be either in the form of capital receipt or in the form of the revenue receipt. Secondly, for the debit side of receipt and payment account, outstanding and provisions are not recorded. Outstanding and provisions are not recorded means what? Any amount which is receivable, means the amount should be received but it not be received. And on the other hand, provisions, like we have the examples of bad debt, RDD and depreciation kind of amount, that will be not recorded for the debit side of the receipt and payment account, because usually this amount are not yet received or not yet paid, because they are outstanding amount, they are the provisional amount, and because this it makes that it should be not recorded for the debit side of the receipt and payment account. Because actual receipts are only recorded, actual receipt which is available in the hand at the present moment. It means actual receipt should be recorded. What should be received? The receiving amount can be in the form of capital receipt or in the form of revenue receipt. This should be recorded, and because what comes in it records, because of this the debit side of receipt and payment account is called as the receipt side, because it has came into the business, it has entered into the business. And the credit side of receipt and payment account, it records actual paid are recorded. Actual paid जे प्रत्यक्ष दिले, म्हणजे जे बिझनेस मधून फॉर्म मधून वेगवेगळ्या फॉर्म मधून बाहेर पडलेला आहे. इट मे बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कॅश और एनी काइंड ऑफ अदर प्रॉपर्टी. इफ इट हैज बीन पेड, if it has been gone out from the business, then that actual paid have been recorded for the credit side of the receipt and payment account. So payable paid amount should be required over here. Secondly, the paid amount should be in the form of either capital payment or it should be in the form of the revenue payment. So these paid amount are recorded for the credit side of the receipt and payment account. What should not be recorded for the receipt and payment account? The amount which is outstanding, means it should be paid, but it is yet not paid. Means the amount should be payable, but yet not paid. द्यायचं होतं पण अजून दिलेलं नाही. And the provisions are not recorded. Again, I will repeat the examples of provision. RDD, that is reserved for doubtful debt, bad debt, and depreciations are some of the examples that are the examples of provisions. even they are the provisional amount, there is no any kind of payment for that amount. Because of this, it makes that outstanding amount which should be payable but not paid, and the provisions amount again they are not recorded for the payment side of the, or we can say credit side of the receipt and payment account. What should be recorded? What actual paid in the form of capital payment or in the form of revenue payment. This should be recorded, and basically what pays are being recorded. Because of this, the credit side of receipt and payment account becomes the payment side. Now, after having the knowledge about the receipt and payment account as per the law, we can have the exact form of real receipt and payment account, how it will be looked after implementing all these necessary equations. Next. So this is the exact format of the real receipt and payment account. After implementing all that basic law, it will look something like this. That the receipt and payment account will be the heading of this account. For what exact year and for the date we are preparing this, we have to highlight with that particular year with the date. We have to prepare it in the T formation. This will become or give in two hand side. This is the left hand side, that is the right hand side. The left hand side will be called as the debit side. The right hand side will be called as the credit side. And as because it follows the rule of real account, same rule will be implemented. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So what comes in should be called as the receipt side, that is nothing but the debit side, and what goes out should be called as the payment side, that is nothing but the credit side. Here, the receipt side of the receipt and payment account is started with the initial word called as to. Means anything if we are going to record any item, that should be started with the initial word to, and then it should be recorded for the receipt side. Similar way, for the payment side, any item if we are going to record, it should be recorded with the first word called as the by. Means initial start of the payment is done with the using word by, and then you have to write that exactly name of that item. So this will be the exact format of receipt and payment account after implementing the exact rule. Back. Friends, when we were discussing about the receipt and payment account, one word was being highlighted over here back, that here actual received and actual paid should be recorded, but what should be received should be in the form of capital receipt, revenue receipt, and what should be paid should be in the form of capital payment and revenue payment. Next. So first we will study about receipt in the form of capital and receipt in the form of revenue. What is the meaning of capital form receipt and revenue form receipt? Here capital form receipt is nothing but the receipt, means what actually we are receiving. The amount which is received should be non-recurring in nature. Non-recurring in nature means that amount which is not received again and again by the NPO in the same form with the name of same item, that kind of nature receiving amount is nothing but called as the capital receipt. म्हणजे व्यवसायामध्ये असे काही उत्पन्न असतात, असे काही त्या ठिकाणी मिळणारी रक्कम असते की जी पुन्हा पुन्हा मिळणं शक्य नाही किंवा महिन्याला मिळणं शक्य नाही, अशी काही अमाउंट असतात. त्या अमाउंटला काय म्हणायचं या ठिकाणी कॅपिटल रिसिप्ट फॉर्ममध्ये असणारे रिसिप्ट म्हटले जातात. दॅट इट इज नेचर इज नॉट रिकरिंग, नॉट रिसीव्ड अगेन अँड अगेन. Secondly, because they are not received again and again, they are called as a not part of regular flow of income. As this kind of income, as this kind of receiving amount is not available for per month, it makes that it is not a regular flow of income. We can have some of the example of capital receipt over here. Example like donations. Donation, dengi means donation is given by the member of society to the NPO. When the member of society will give donation to the NPO, when the member will think that actually it is going in a good form and do whatever they are doing for the society, it is at the good form, this will make the people to be interested to donate the amount for the NPO, and this will be not possible for all the time. Because of it, donation are some of the examples we can take as the capital receipt, as they are not in the regular flow of income and they are not in the recurring nature. Secondly, life membership fee. Some of the member of the NPO, if they are seeing or having a look on the NPO in a good sense working form, at that time some of the interested member pay their life membership fee. Means their membership fee of whole lifetime they pay at one time, that becomes the major source of NPO, but at the same time it is a capital receipt, because if one member pay the membership fee for coming 10 years, it means that for the coming 10 years it will be not received to the NPO organization, and life membership fee becomes the capital receipt for NPO. Second is sale of fixed asset. What is fixed asset over here? We have the definition of fixed asset, that those assets in the organization basically which are purchased for the long term benefit. अशी एखादी व्यवसायामध्ये असणारी मालमत्ता जे खास करून खरेदी केलेला आहे लॉंग टर्म म्हणजे मोठ्या कालावधीमध्ये त्याची आपण काय करण्यासाठी एन्जॉय करण्यासाठी बेनिफिट वापरण्यासाठी मोठ्या कालावधीसाठी एखादी असेट आपण वापरण्यासाठी खरेदी केलेली आहे. सेकंड, इट इज नॉट फॉर सेल. पुन्हा विक्रीसाठी ती आपण खरेदी केलेली नाही आहे. दिस टू काइंड ऑफ फीचर्स ऑफ द असेट इट मेक्स इट ॲज अ फिक्स्ड असेट. एखादी अशी असेट जे आपण मोठ्या कालावधी वापरण्यासाठी खरेदी केलेली आहे आणि जे पुनर्विक्रीसाठी नाही आणि विकायचं जरी असेल देन इमिजिएट कन्वर्जन इनटू कॅश इज नॉट पॉसिबल. म्हणजे पटकन त्याचं रूपांतर कॅश मध्ये तुम्हाला करता येत नाही अशा असेटला आपण बहुतांश काय म्हणतो फिक्स्ड असेट त्या ठिकाणी म्हणतो. सो बेसिकली दिस काइंड ऑफ फिक्स्ड असेट बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स फीचर्स ओनली वी कॅनॉट सेल इट अगेन अँड अगेन. म्हणजे एखादी असेट जर फिक्स्ड असेट असेल तर त्याला सारखं सारखं विकणं हे शक्य नाही, कारण खरेदीच ह्या उद्देशाने केलेलं आहे की ते लॉंग टर्म बेनिफिट साठी वापरता यावं ह्याच्यासाठी. सो व्हेन the fixed asset will be sold out, there are some of the condition like either it should be converted into the scrap value, ती परिपूर्ण वापरून त्याचा त्या ठिकाणी स्क्रॅप एवढंच उरलेलं असेल तर. सेकंडली, इफ द लाईफ टर्म ऑफ दॅट असेट इज कंप्लीटेड, जर त्या असेटचं आयुष्य संपलेलं असेल तर अशा वेळी तुम्हाला काय करावं लागणार, ती असेट त्या ठिकाणी विकावी लागणार. सो सेल ऑफ फिक्स्ड असेट इज नॉट अ कंडिशन which will be possible again and again for every month to the organization. So that makes a difference that sale of fixed asset will be a capital receipt. On the other hand, there are revenue receipt. Revenue receipt are those receipts which are recurring in nature. Recurring पुन्हा पुन्हा मिळणं possible आहे. Where the amount is received again and again by the business organization, such kind of receipts are called as the revenue receipt. Second, because it receives again and again, it becomes a regular part of the flow of income. ती किंमत किंवा ती जी असणारी अमाउंट आहे ती पुन्हा पुन्हा मिळू शकते, म्हणून ती व्यवसायाचा एक रेग्युलर फ्लो ऑफ इन्कम त्या ठिकाणी होते. There are some of the examples we can take related to the NPO in the terms of revenue receipt are nothing but subscription from the member. Subscription वर्गणी. Basically subscription is collected by the NPO, that is not for profit organization, by its member for every month. म्हणजे दर महिन्याला सबस्क्रिप्शन म्हणजे वर्गणी ही मेंबर्स कडून एनपीओ जमा करते, म्हणून सबस्क्रिप्शन हे काय आहे एक रेव्हेन्यू रिसिप्ट आहे बिकॉज इट कॅन बी रिसीव्ड अगेन अँड अगेन युजुअली फॉर द पर मंथ. सेकंड, वी कॅन हॅव द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ रेंट रिसीव्ड. सपोज that NPO have some of the rooms, some of the land or some of the building and they had been let out for the rental basis. This can make a regular flow of income from that particular property because a monthly rent will be received from that property to the NPO. Second is interest on investment etc. NPO they collect the fund from the society. Whatever the fund it is collected, not all the fund is utilized for the working transactions, but few of the fund is being also invested by the NPO with the number of securities like government securities, government bonds, okay, banking projects, banking proposals and etc. And from that kind of investment they can receive a kind of interest for per month. So it becomes possible that interest on investment can become a regular flow of income for every month to the organization, and these are some of the points which highlights the exact meaning of revenue receipt, and these are the points which explain the exact meaning of the capital receipt. Next is about the payments. The payment which are available in the capital form and the payment which are available in the revenue form. Basically, benefit of expenditure, एखादा असा खर्च ज्याच्यापासून मिळणारा फायदा. Benefit of expenditure likely to be received. एखादा असा खर्च ज्याच्यापासून मिळणारा फायदा अशा पद्धतीने मिळणार आहे which will be received for a long period, की मोठ्या कालावधीसाठी तुम्हाला त्याचे फायदे मिळणार असतील, तर बेसिकली अशा प्रकारच्या खर्चाला, अशा प्रकारच्या पेमेंटला आपण काय म्हणू शकतो, कॅपिटल पेमेंट वी हॅव टू कॉल इट. means any kind of expenditure we do first and receive the benefit for a longer period, then at that time that exactly kind of payment will be called as the capital payment. Here we can have some of the example like purchase of land. Yes, purchase of land, जमिनीची खरेदी ही एक capital payment आहे. Let's explain this example, purchase of land. Purchase of land means that NPO at the time of interest they will purchase a land for one time. Means for purchasing that land they have to pay the cost for one time, but after purchasing they can enjoy the benefit of utilizing that land for the longer period. Second example we can have here over like purchase of furniture or machinery, etc. Purchase of furniture, it means that to run the business of NPO there is requirement of furniture. It may be like chair, it may be like table and etc. And number of times it is also the requirement of machinery if it is a production activity. Then at this time we can say that purchase of furniture and purchase of machinery that the NPO have to do for one time. Means whatever the purchase amount is that they have to pay for one time, but exactly after purchasing they can enjoy the benefit of utilizing the furniture and machinery for a longer period, and this makes that these are called the examples of the capital payment. एखादा असा खर्च की ज्याच्यापासून मिळणारे फायदे मोठ्या कालावधीसाठी आहेत अशा खर्चाला कॅपिटल पेमेंट असं म्हणायचं. On the other hand, there is the second type of or the form of payment that is nothing but the revenue payment. What is revenue payment? Exactly the vice versa situation of the capital payment. The benefit of expenditure, एखादा असा खर्च ज्याच्यापासून मिळणारे फायदे is likely to be received for a short period. म्हणजे एखादा असा खर्च की ज्याच्यापासून मिळणारे फायदे हे शॉर्ट पिरियड साठी आहेत. एक्झॅक्टली दॅट काइंड ऑफ फॉर्म ऑफ पेमेंट इज कॉल्ड एज द रेव्हेन्यू पेमेंट. हियर वी कॅन हॅव सम ऑफ द एक्झाम्पल लाईक सॅलरी पेड पगार दिला. सॅलरी पेड इट मीन्स that salary is to be paid for every month to the employees of the NPO, and it makes that every month it should be paid, and because of this it becomes a revenue payment. Second, tax and insurance premium paid, etc. Taxes and the insurance premium, विम्याचे हप्ते can be another example we can take like the revenue payment, because it should be paid for every month or for every short period, but paying such kind of the amount can give a benefit to the NPO, but it will for the short period. Such kind of payment are called as the revenue payment. So friends, yes, whatever is recorded for the receipt and payment account in the form of capital and revenue receipt and in the form of capital and revenue payment, so these are the definition of that receipt and payment in the form of capital and revenue, and we have taken some of the example over here. Next. And after implementing all that kind of rule, the exact format will be like this. Second. Now, after implementing the rule and after taking that all knowledge, what should be posted, how it should be posted, how it should be taken, after that we can have the exact form of receipt and payment account over here. Firstly, yes, we have to highlight the name of account, that is receipt and payment account. Then we have to write for the year ending on 31st of March, means for what period and exactly for what date we are recording it, that should be highlighted. Receipt and payment account as it is prepared for the T form shape. Here we can have it in the T form shape. It makes it two hand side, left hand side as the debit side and the right hand side as the credit side. It follows the rule of real account. So debit what comes in should be recorded in the name of receipt, and credit what goes out, that should be recorded in the name of payment. It means this will be the receipt side and this will be the payment side. Now what terms are recorded or which items are being recorded for the receipt side, we will have it. First, as I said, the receipt side should be started with the initial word by using the to. Here firstly, to balance brought down. To balance brought down, it should be in the form of either in the cash in hand or cash at bank. Both the amount should be taken firstly at the inner column and the addition should be taken, means the total should be taken for the outer column. To subscription, Vargani, that will be received for every month by the member of NPO, that is a major income source of NPO, that should be recorded to the receipt side. It may be received for the previous year to the present year. It may be of the current year or it may be for the next year, but if it is fees. Entrance fees, that basically if any member from the society or a person from the society interested to be a member of NPO, then to become a member he have to firstly pay the admission fee and entrance fee, and that will be the major receipt for NPO. It should be recorded to the receipt side. To entrance fee, to admission fee, to life membership fees, next to donation for specific fund, example like building fund, prize fund, etc. To interest on investment, to dividend received, to rent received, to sundry income, to miscellaneous receipt, to sale of old newspaper, to sale of fixed asset, to tournament receipts, to collection for annual functions, to tuition fees, to term fees, to fine fees, to locker rent, to examination fees, to legacies, next, to government grant, to donation if it is received in the general form. So these kind of items are being recorded for the receipt side. The next hand side is the payment side. Which items are being recorded to the payment side? First, the payment side should be started with the initial word by. First we have to record by balance brought down if it is a bank overdraft. By salaries paid for the previous year, paid for the current year. By rent and taxes, by printing and stationery, by general expenses, by interest on bank loan, by electricity charges, by audit fees, next, by insurance premium, by telephone expenses, by bank charges, by postage and telegram, by travelling expenses, by convenience, by upkeep of lawn or ground, by expenses for annual function, next, by honorarium to visiting faculty, by fixed deposit, by building construction, by furniture purchased, by sports material purchased, by newspaper and periodicals, by books purchased, by medicine purchased, by office expenses, by prices, by purchase of investment, by restaurant expenses, by repairs and maintenance, by equipment purchased, by tennis expenses. So friends, till this and till this, we have to record all the necessary items which can be posted to the receipt and payment account. And after completing all the posting, it comes the time that you have to close the receipt and payment account. So while closing the receipt and payment account, firstly, it is a rule of accountancy that which side is the greater one that should be taken for the total sale of both the sides. First we will take an example. Suppose that if the payment side is greater, खर्चाची बाजू जास्त असेल, then the total should be taken for the total sale of payment side, and the same amount of the total should be even taken for the receipt side of the receipt and payment account. After deducting the amount of all receipt side from this total of payment side, we will receive amount over here, and this will be given or will be taken like to balance carried down and like bank overdraft. याचा अर्थ काय आहे की तुमची खर्चाची बाजू जास्त आहे, तुमचे खर्च जास्त आहेत आणि रिसिप्ट तुमचं उत्पन्न कमी आहे आणि त्याच्यामुळे सगळे उत्पन्नाची रक्कम देऊन देखील तुम्हाला खर्च भागवता येत नाही, and it will conducted like a bank overdraft. Simultaneously, the second option is that if suppose the receipt side is greater, then the total should be taken to the receipt side total sale, and the same amount should be posted to the total sale of payment, and the amount of all total of payment should be deducted from the total of this receipt total, and afterwards whatever the amount is being received, that will be taken like by balance carried down either in cash in hand or cash at bank. It means की तुमचं उत्पन्न जास्त आहे आणि खर्च कमी आहे, उत्पन्नातून सगळे खर्च भागवून देखील तुमच्याकडे काही रक्कम शिल्लक आहे, हे तुमची फायद्याची पोझिशन त्या ठिकाणी सांगते. So friends, yes, this is all about the receipt and payment account. Then the next accounting statement is income and expenditure account. So let's see what is the exact format of income and expenditure account. Firstly, you have to write the name of account, income and expenditure account. Again, for the year ending means the date and the year should be highlighted. Income and expenditure account, again it is prepared in a T form shape. This blue line will highlight it, that exactly it is in T form shape. This T form shape gives it two hand side, the left hand side and the right hand side. The left hand side again it is called as the debit side, and the right hand side again it will be called as the credit side. But friends, here income and So this rule should be implemented, and as per this rule we can say if debit all expenses and losses, then to the debit side of income and expenditure account all revenue expenses are been recorded. See, what should be recorded for the debit side? Only revenue expenses. Revenue expenses means those expenses which will be paid again and again, again and again, again and again. It means it is in the recurring nature. जो खर्च पुन्हा पुन्हा करावा लागणार असे खर्च हे इन्कम अँड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंटच्या डेबिट साइडला पोस्ट केले जातात, बिकॉज इट फॉलोज द रूल ऑफ नॉमिनल अकाउंट. इन द रूल ऑफ नॉमिनल अकाउंट इज डेबिट ऑल expenses and losses. Therefore the debit side of the income and expenditure account is related with the expenses and losses, but only in the form of revenue. Secondly, along with the revenue expenses, here outstanding and provisions are recorded. Outstanding, the amount should be paid but yet not be, the amount should be payable but yet not paid, and along with that any kind of provision like bad debt, RDD, and it may be like depreciation, provision for tax. These are the examples of provisions. So these kind of even information of the items are being recorded to the debit side of the income and expenditure account. So let's see again one time that the debit side of income and expenditure account, because it follows the nominal account rule, the rule is debit all expenses and losses. Therefore only expenses and losses but in the form of revenue should be recorded to the debit side. Along with this, even the outstanding and provision amounts are being recorded, and because of this, this side becomes the expenditure side. Now the next side is the credit side. Credit side, what is the rule of nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. मिळणार काय असेल किंवा जे मिळालेलं असेल ते सगळं इथं या क्रेडिट साइडला रेकॉर्ड होणार. इट मीन्स that the credit side of income and expenditure account records the revenue income, the income which will be received again and again, which is receivable again and again. So that revenue income will be recorded for the credit side. Along with this, even the amount outstanding means the amount it should be receivable but yet not received. This kind of outstanding amount are also been recorded, and along with that provisions are also recorded, because the revenue income, that what is the received or receiving is being recorded for the credit side, it becomes the income side. It means friends that income and expenditure account follows the nominal account rule, debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. Because of this, this debit side will be called as the expenditure side, whereas this credit side will be called as the income side. Now after implementing all the law and basic information, we can have the exact look of income and expenditure over here. That income and expenditure, how it will be look after implementing all the necessary information. Again, to the center income and expenditure account for the year ended, whatever the date and year should be highlighted. It should be prepared in the T form shape. It will give two hand side, left hand side as the debit side, right hand side as the credit side, and this will be the expenditure side, and that will be the income side. The expenditure side should be started again with the initial word like to, and the income side should be started with the initial word like by, and after giving this kind of information, providing to this account will be in this kind of the form. Now in the next slide, we will have the exact format of income and expenditure account, which item should be posted to this account. In the income and expenditure account, first we will explain to the expenditure side, खर्चाची बाजू बघूया, ज्याच्यामध्ये जे पेड केले, पेएबल आहे आणि प्रोविजन सगळं मिळून काय काय रेकॉर्ड केलं जातं. टू द एक्सपेंडिचर साइड, फर्स्टली टू सॅलरी पेड, इट मस्ट बी रेकॉर्डेड बिकॉज इट इज अ रिकरिंग इन नेचर. दर महिन्याला पगार द्यावा लागतो. लेस प्रीवियस इयर, लेस नेक्स्ट इयर, ऍड आउटस्टँडिंग फॉर द करंट इयर, ऍड प्रीपेड इन द लास्ट इयर. So that total should be made, and after calculation the total should be posted for the outer column. To stationery, sports material, medicines consumed during year, in this we have to add the purchase for current year, and we have to deduct the closing stock of all necessary material. To wages, next. To printing and stationery, to rent paid, to interest paid, to traveling expenses, to convenience, to rates and taxes, to insurance premium, to audit fees, next. To ground or lawn upkeep, to office expenses, to telephone expenses, to loss on sale of asset, depreciation on asset, repairs and maintenance, such kind of expenditures are being recorded to the income and expenditure account. Now let us explain the income side of the income and expenditure account. To the income side, we will record like buy subscription receipt, which is monthly receipt to the NPO, less previous year, less next year. You have to add received amount of subscription of previous year, but it is received in the current year, and outstanding for the current year. Rent received, interest received. We can receive the interest basically in investment and on fixed deposit. Next, we can receive the dividend by government grant, by ground rent received, sundry receipt, entrance fees if are in the form of revenue, admission fees, life membership fees, donations, tennis receipts, restaurant receipt, drama receipt, collection for annual function, proceed for entertainment by profit on asset. Next. After posting the required items to the income and expenditure, again it comes to close this account. And how to close this account? Again the rule should be implemented that whichever the side is greater, that should be calculated as the total of both the sides. Now first let's consider, suppose this expenditure side is greater. This expenditure, खर्चाची बाजू जास्त आहे. Then this total will be made up and the total will be taken for the total sale. Same amount will be posted for the credit side also. And from this expenditure total, all the income total will be calculated and it will be deducted, and after deducting we will receive the amount, and that received amount will be called as the deficit. We can take one example here. Suppose that the expenditure side is of 100 rupees. Similar, this 100 rupees will be taken over here, the total of credit side. Now suppose the total of income side is 80. It means that expenditure amount is 100 and your income is 80. It means your expenditure is more than the income. So even if you give all the total income amount to pay the expenditure, though the 20 rupees left to pay, and this will result that you have the deficit in your organization. Suppose vice versa is the situation. The situation is that the total of income is rupees 100. The total of income is rupees 100 and the total of expenditure is rupees 80. It means that the income side is greater. Therefore, the 100 rupees will be taken for both the total sale to the debit and credit side. And from this 100 income, this 80 of expenditure will be deducted. We can see that out of income, we had paid all our expenditure. Though 20 rupees are still remaining, that is in our hand. This will be the condition that we are in the surplus position. Surplus means excess of income over expenditure, and deficit means excess of expenditure over the income. And the last point is nothing but balance sheet. Balance sheet is the heart of final account. Why? Because after preparing the receipt and payment account and income and expenditure account, one can only ascertain the results of only surplus and deficit. That either we are in the good condition or in the bad condition. But the overall performance of a business, the value of business, the goodwill of the business, the name, fame and status of a business depends all only on the financial position of that business, and that financial business position is being described through the balance sheet. Means what is the reason behind preparing the balance sheet? To describe the financial position of the business, and that financial position will declare the goodwill of the business within the market. So in preparation of the final account, balance sheet is the major aspect, and because of this, balance sheet becomes the heart of final account. Basically friends, receipt and payment is a form of account, income and expenditure is also a form of account, but balance sheet is not any kind of account, it is a kind of a statement. And this makes it difference that balance sheet, because it is a kind of a statement, that this statement should be prepared, and this statement is prepared. Again, you have to firstly highlight the name like balance sheet. As on 31st of March, the date and year should be highlighted. The balance sheet again it is available in the T form shape. The T form shape again it gives the debit side. Actually, because it is a statement, debit and credit law should not be highlighted over here. But for the kind information we have to take that this will be the credit side and this will be the debit side, just because it is a kind of a statement. Now, this first side will be called as the liability side and the next side will be called as the asset side. Liability देणी and asset व्यवसायाची असणारी सगळी मालमत्ता प्रॉपर्टी काय असेल ते तिथे कॅल्क्युलेट करून घ्यावं लागेल. So what items are to be posted to the liability side? First we will say capital fund. Here donations are been added, entrance fees are been added. If there is a surplus situation, it should be added into the capital fund, and if it is a deficient situation, it should be deducted into the capital fund. Next is about the prize fund, building fund, endowment fund, tournament fund, charity fund, special fund, sundry creditor, bank overdraft, then outstanding expenses, pre-received income, other loan. So this is the balance sheet liability side. Coming to the balance sheet asset side, what will be the posting items? First, cash in hand, cash at bank, fixed deposit, investment, sundry debtor, land and building, furniture and fixture, plant and machinery, equipment, motor vehicles, library book, stock of sport material, stock of stationery, stock of drugs, loans given, accrued interest, prepaid expenses and outstanding income. Friends, after preparation of the balance sheet, if all the necessary items have been posted, now the question arises how to close this account. Basically, as I said, this is not a kind of account, it is a statement. So, while closing the balance sheet, we have to remember that both the sides should be of same amount and it should be get tallied with the equal amount. Okay? It means whatever will be the total of asset, the same total should be of the liability, and both the side will be get with the same total amount and it will be get tallied, and this will make the balance sheet complete. So yes friends, today we have completed the accounting statements of MPO. For the coming next